Chapter 1. The Arrival of Director Jackson. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead as the office buzzed with hushed conversations. Whispers of change hung in the air, and the employees exchanged uncertain glances. The routine they had grown accustomed to was about to undergo a radical transformation. Director Jackson's arrival was heralded by the click-clack of expensive shoes echoing through the hallway. Tall and imposing, he entered the office with an air of authority that immediately drew everyone's attention. The employees stole glances at each other, sensing that the atmosphere was about to shift. In the midst of the low hum of office machinery, Sophia, the diligent HR deputy, rushed to greet the new director. "Welcome to our humble abode, Director Jackson. I'm Sophia, your deputy in charge of human resources," she said, extending a hand with a forced smile. Director Jackson, his sharp gaze scanning the room, replied in a cool, calculated tone, "Thank you, Sophia. I trust you are prepared for the changes I plan to implement." Sophia hesitated for a moment before responding, "Of course, Director. We are here to support your vision for the company." The director's lips curled into a faint smile as he continued his survey of the office. The employees returned to their tasks, but an undercurrent of tension lingered in the air. In a corner cubicle, two colleagues exchanged concerned whispers. Mark, a veteran employee, leaned over to his desk neighbor, Sarah, and muttered, "Did you hear about the pay cuts? This new director means business." Sarah furrowed her brows, her gaze shifting towards the imposing figure of Director Jackson. "It's unsettling, Mark. I hope these changes won't disrupt everything we've worked so hard for." Mark nodded, his expression mirroring the unease that permeated the office. Little did they know that Director Jackson's arrival marked the beginning of a tumultuous journey that would test the resilience of the entire office. Director Jackson wasted no time in asserting his influence over the office. As the days unfolded, anxiety ripened among the employees, fueling speculation about the impending changes. One gloomy Monday morning, Director Jackson summoned all employees to a mandatory meeting in the cold, sterile conference room. The air was thick with tension as the staff shuffled into their seats, exchanging wary glances. Director Jackson took center stage, his eyes scanning the room with an unwavering intensity. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his voice cutting through the silence, "I've conducted a thorough review of the payroll, and it's time for a necessary overhaul to ensure the company's financial health." The room buzzed with murmurs as employees exchanged nervous glances. Sophia, sitting at the front of the room, shot a concerned look towards her fellow coworkers, a silent plea for solidarity. As the news of pay cuts began to unfold, Mark, the veteran employee, leaned towards Sarah, whispering, "This is unprecedented. How are we supposed to make ends meet with reduced salaries?" Sarah sighed, frustration etching lines on her forehead. "I don't know, Mark. It's like the rug's been pulled from under us. We'll have to adapt, I guess." Sophia, with a heavy heart, attempted to address the concerns mounting in the room. "Director Jackson has the company's best interests at heart. We must trust his judgment to steer us through this challenging period." A voice from the back, belonging to Alex, a young and ambitious employee, rang out, "But Sophia, what about our hard work? Are we supposed to accept pay cuts without any say in the matter?" Sophia nodded empathetically, her eyes reflecting the weight of the situation. "I understand your concerns, Alex, but we must remain resilient. Change is inevitable, and we'll navigate through this together." As the meeting concluded, the office felt like a ship navigating turbulent waters, its crew uncertain about the destination. Director Jackson's payroll overhaul cast a shadow over the office, setting the stage for a period of uncertainty and challenge. Director Jackson's payroll overhaul sent shockwaves through the office, leaving an atmosphere of uncertainty in its wake. The days that followed were marked by an exodus of employees tendering their resignations, creating an unsettling backdrop of unrest. As the news of pay cuts spread, the office transformed into a hotbed of whispered conversations and somber faces. Mark, the seasoned employee, found himself at a crossroads as he sat in his cubicle contemplating his future. Sarah, noticing his pensive expression, approached with a sympathetic smile. "Mark, are you okay? This whole situation is just too much." Mark sighed, his gaze fixed on the resignation letter he held in his hands. "I never thought it would come to this. I've dedicated years to this company, and now they expect me to accept these pay cuts. It's not fair." Meanwhile, Alex, the young and ambitious employee, confronted Sophia in the break room. "Sophia, how can you support Director Jackson's decisions? People are leaving and the ones staying are demoralized. This is a sinking ship." Sophia met Alex's gaze with a mix of empathy and frustration. "I understand your concerns, Alex, but we have to adapt. We can't change the decisions made at the top, but we can control how we respond." Resignation letters began piling up on Sophia's desk, each one a testament to the growing discontent within the office. The once vibrant workspace now echoed with the hollow sounds of empty desks and strained camaraderie. In a meeting called by Director Jackson to address the escalating unrest, tension hung in the air like a heavy fog. Karen, a longtime employee with a reputation for voicing her opinions, spoke up. "This office used to be a family. Now it feels like we're just numbers on a balance sheet. How do you expect us to work like this?" Director Jackson, unfazed by the discontent, responded with an air of detachment. "Change is never easy, but it's necessary for progress. Those who remain will be part of a more efficient and financially stable company." As the meeting concluded, the office was left grappling with the aftermath of resignations and the uncertainty that loomed on the horizon. The once unified team now faced the challenge of maintaining their professional composure in the face of unprecedented changes. The office corridors buzzed with tension as Sophia, the deputy in charge of human resources, grappled with the fallout of Director Jackson's decisions. Desperation lingered in the air as resignations mounted, and the remaining employees looked to her for guidance. One afternoon, Sophia found herself in her cramped office, surrounded by stacks of resignation letters. The weight of the situation bore heavily on her shoulders as she pondered the best course of action. Mark, still contemplating his future, knocked on her slightly ajar door. "Can I come in, Sophia?" Mark's voice carried a sense of uncertainty. Sophia nodded, gesturing for him to take a seat. "Of course, Mark. How are you holding up?" Mark sighed, sinking into the chair. "I never thought I'd see the day when the office would be in such disarray. What are we supposed to do now?" Sophia's gaze softened, empathy etched on her face. "We adapt, Mark. It's the only choice we have. Director Jackson believes these changes are necessary for the company's survival." Mark's frustration surfaced as he leaned forward, his hands gripping the edge of Sophia's desk. "Survival at the cost of our morale. I've given my best years to this company, and now they expect me to accept these pay cuts and pretend everything is normal." Sophia's eyes met Mark's, her plea evident. "Mark, I understand your frustration, but we need to stand strong together. The company is going through a rough patch, and we must weather the storm. Your experience is invaluable, and your resilience will be a guiding light for others." In the break room, Alex, fueled by discontent, approached Sophia with a furrowed brow. "Sophia, we can't keep pretending everything is fine. Director Jackson is destroying the fabric of this office. What's our plan?" Sophia, attempting to maintain a sense of composure, responded, "Alex, I know it's tough, but we need to keep working. I've tried to convey our concerns to Director Jackson, but change takes time. We can't let this situation break us." As Sophia's plea echoed through the office, the remaining employees grappled with conflicting emotions. The once sturdy pillars of the company faced the challenge of rebuilding the foundations of trust and camaraderie amidst the turmoil Director Jackson's decisions had wrought. As the turmoil caused by pay cuts and resignations unfolded, another pressing issue loomed over the office: the perpetual struggle to find a cleaner willing to work for meager wages. The unattended spaces within the office became a visual testament to the disarray within the company. Sophia, burdened with the responsibility of maintaining a semblance of order, found herself in a heated discussion with Mark, who had become a vocal representative of the frustrated employees. They stood near the entrance, surveying the neglected state of the office. Mark pointed at the dusty corners and overflowing trash bins. "Sophia, this is getting out of hand. The office is a mess, and we can't find a cleaner willing to work for what we're offering. It's affecting morale even more." Sophia nodded, acknowledging the gravity of the situation. "I've brought up the need for a higher wage for cleaners, but Director Jackson is adamant about cutting costs. We're caught in a catch-22 situation." In a rare moment of camaraderie, Alex joined the conversation. "We can't attract quality employees with such low wages. The office is starting to resemble a ghost town. We need to do something before it's too late." Sophia glanced around, her frustration evident. "I've been advocating for change, but Director Jackson seems determined to stick to his plan. We need a solution, and fast." The break room buzzed with whispers as employees discussed the deteriorating state of the office. Sarah, concerned about the impact on the work environment, approached Sophia. "Sophia, this mess is affecting everyone. Can't we convince Director Jackson to reconsider?" Sophia sighed. "I've tried, Sarah. It's not easy. Director Jackson is focused on cutting costs, and he sees the cleaner position as an opportunity to save money." As the office continued to languish in neglect, the need for a cleaner became increasingly dire. The employees found themselves caught in a cycle of frustration, powerless to change the course set by the new director. Little did they know that an unexpected solution was about to present itself, casting a ray of hope amid the prevailing uncertainty. In the midst of the disarray and discontent, Director Jackson, during one of his routine meetings, noticed a peculiar sight through his office window. A deaf woman, dressed in tattered clothes, was diligently cleaning near the garbage bins outside. Intrigued by this unexpected scene, he paused mid-sentence, and a contemplative expression crept over his face. Curiosity got the better of Director Jackson as he decided to observe the woman more closely. Unbeknownst to him, Mark, Sarah, and Alex were huddled near the window, watching the unfolding scene with raised eyebrows and exchanged glances. Mark, squinting to get a better view, said, "Is that a homeless woman? What is she doing here?" Sarah, equally perplexed, replied, "And why is Director Jackson so fixated on her? This is bizarre." Meanwhile, Alex, always eager to voice his thoughts, chimed in, "Maybe he's finally realized the state of our office is a mess, and he's considering unconventional solutions. It wouldn't surprise me at this point." As Director Jackson continued to observe the deaf woman from his office, Sophia approached him cautiously. "Director Jackson, may I ask what has captured your attention outside?" Director Jackson, without taking his eyes off the scene below, responded, "There might be a solution to our cleaner problem right outside my window. Let's see how this plays out." Intrigued by the unfolding events, the trio continued to watch as Director Jackson made his way downstairs to the building's entrance, where the deaf woman was meticulously stacking cardboard boxes. Approaching her, Director Jackson attempted to communicate, but the woman, oblivious to his words due to her hearing impairment, continued with her task. Sophia, witnessing the interaction, couldn't help but feel a mixture of confusion and anticipation. Back in the office, Mark, Sarah, and Alex exchanged puzzled glances. Mark voiced the question on everyone's mind. What is he doing? Is he really considering hiring a homeless woman as our cleaner? The atmosphere in the office shifted from frustration to disbelief as the staff grappled with the unexpected turn of events. Little did they know that Director Jackson's decision to involve the deaf woman would not only reshape the office dynamics, but also challenge their preconceived notions about status and potential. The atmosphere in the office was tinged with curiosity and disbelief as Director Jackson, inspired by the sight of the deaf woman cleaning near the garbage bins, decided to extend a surprising invitation. The staff, still processing the unusual turn of events, watched as he summoned a security guard to bring her into the office. In his expansive office, Director Jackson waited with an air of anticipation as the security guard escorted the deaf woman inside. The staff, gathered near the entrance, exchanged puzzled glances, their murmurs echoing through the corridor. Mark, unable to contain his curiosity, leaned towards Sophia and whispered, "Is he really going to hire her? This is beyond bizarre." Sophia, equally mystified, replied in a hushed tone, "I have no idea, Mark. But it seems like Director Jackson sees something in her that we don't." As the security guard ushered the deaf woman into the director's office, Sarah turned to Alex, a bemused expression on her face. "What do you think is going on? This feels like a scene from a strange movie." Alex, always ready with a witty remark, quipped, "Maybe Director Jackson believes in unconventional solutions. Who knows? This could be the start of a new era in office cleaning." Inside the office, Director Jackson, with a welcoming smile, motioned for the deaf woman to take a seat. Sophia stood by, her eyes shifting between the two as she tried to decipher the director's intentions. Attempting to communicate, Director Jackson spoke slowly and gestured with his hands. "I've noticed your dedication to keeping the surroundings clean. I have a proposition for you. Would you be interested in working here as a cleaner?" The deaf woman, meeting his gaze with a mix of surprise and gratitude, nodded in understanding. Director Jackson, satisfied with her response, turned to Sophia. "Sophia, arrange for the necessary paperwork. Let's give her a chance to contribute to the office environment." As Sophia nodded in acknowledgement, the staff outside the office exchanged stunned glances. Mark whispered to Sarah, "I never thought I'd see the day when a homeless woman becomes our cleaner. What is Director Jackson thinking?" Sarah, intrigued by the unfolding scene, replied, "I don't know, Mark, but this is certainly unprecedented. Let's see how it plays out." Little did the office staff realize that Director Jackson's surprising invitation would not only address the cleaner conundrum, but also set the stage for a series of unforeseen events that would challenge their perceptions and reshape the office dynamics. As the news of Director Jackson's decision to hire the deaf homeless woman as the office cleaner circulated, the staff was abuzz with disbelief and intrigue. The next morning, the atmosphere in the office was charged with anticipation as everyone awaited the unveiling of the unexpected. In the break room, employees gathered around the coffee machine, exchanging speculative glances and hushed whispers. Mark, sipping his coffee, voiced the collective sentiment. "I can't believe we have a homeless woman as our cleaner now. This is surreal." Alex, always quick with a quip, added, "Well, at least the office will be clean. Maybe Director Jackson is onto something here." Sophia, overhearing their conversation, approached the group. "It might be unconventional, but we should give her a chance. Who knows? She might bring a fresh perspective to the office." The deaf woman, now equipped with a janitorial uniform, meticulously cleaned the office spaces. Surprisingly efficient and focused, she moved through the workspaces with a quiet determination that left the staff in awe. In a corner, Sarah observed the scene, her skepticism softening into a thoughtful expression. "I never expected this, but she seems to be doing a great job. Maybe Director Jackson had a point." Later that day, Director Jackson called for a brief meeting to address the staff's concerns and unveil his vision for the unexpected addition to the team. As the employees gathered in the conference room, whispers of speculation circulated. Director Jackson, standing at the front, spoke with a measured tone. "I understand that this is unconventional, but sometimes unconventional solutions are needed. Our new cleaner brings a unique perspective and determination that aligns with our commitment to resilience and adaptability." Sophia, acting as a bridge between the director and the staff, added, "Let's embrace this change with an open mind. Diversity and inclusion aren't just buzzwords. They are the foundations of a progressive workplace." Mark, still harboring reservations, raised his hand, Director Jackson, what's the long-term plan here? Is this just a temporary fix, or are we expected to adapt to a completely different office dynamic? Director Jackson, with a slight smile, responded, "Change is a process, and we'll evaluate the situation as it unfolds. For now, let's focus on fostering a positive environment and working together to overcome the challenges we face." As the meeting concluded, the office staff left with a mix of uncertainty and newfound curiosity. The unexpected addition of the deaf homeless woman had sparked a shift in perspective, challenging preconceived notions, and setting the stage for a journey of adaptation and resilience in the face of the unexpected.